So Cheuk, welcome to the studio.
You don't always know what the outcome is, but if they don't take the experiments, then you will never find the next thing.
The HSBC Pay Me Pay Meow. Hello, I'm Kevin Huang, Chief Operating Officer of the South China Morning Post. With great pleasure, I welcome Cheuk Shum, Head of Marketing, Wealth and Personal Banking at HSBC to our studio today. We'll learn about Cheuk's journey, HSBC's marketing in 2023, AI, and how you can emulate his success in 2024. So Cheuk, welcome to the SCMP studios.
Thank you.
Do you know that you first appeared in the SCMP 27 years ago in an advertisement for the University of Warwick as one of your part-time jobs? Would you have predicted this is where you'll be today, 27 years later?
Oh, just embarrassing, right? So that was a summer job. It was to recruit other students for the university. So 27 years ago, that was back in 96, 97, I think just in the midst of the Asian financial crisis. Not easy to find jobs, but as I studied economics, it was sort of natural to go for banking and finance jobs. And I actually applied for HSBC as a trainee, and they rejected me. I did well in the interview, but I did terrible in the written test because they couldn't read my writing. So I ended up at the other bank, which had a more digital assessment, no handwriting. So this is a bit of a comeback for me after a long, long time. I always enjoyed the marketing subject, although I didn't start off as a marketer. So would I imagine myself doing this right now? Probably not, but it's a happy place to be.
You know, coming to HSBC rather, 27 years later, and a year into your role as head of marketing, you've also emerged as one of the very well accomplished and very well regarded marketer in the region. How does that make you feel?
I don't know. This is a job which I like a lot, and I'm still learning. So I wouldn't say accomplished. I think we're proud and humble to be where we are today. The predecessors have laid very strong foundations for us, and the bank is very passionate about excelling on customer centricity, and I think it's a good place to be.
Cool. Cheuk, we also had the privilege of having you at our CMO luncheon in August. And during that luncheon, you talked a fair bit about having a fair bit of demand for experiential types of marketing. Can you tell us what your approach has been this year and how you are planning to invest in experiential marketing in 2024?
Sure. When we look at the media landscape, is much more fragmented than what was like a decade ago. Like in the past, when you launch a campaign, it was primetime TV spots, a few front pages in the key publications, maybe an outdoor, and that's done, right? Pretty much half of Hong Kong knows you launched something. Yeah. But if you do the same today, barely anyone notice. Of course, advertising SCMP, fair reach, but that's not enough, right? So getting across that fragmentation is one. The other is the engagement levels of ads are very low. Like people, I mean, we all do is try to skip ads. So first thing that appears, try to close it, right? So the experience side of it creates a much lasting brand memory with our customers. You attended the credit card auction back in July. Again, recently we did a fraud exhibition, just educating people about the different scams that are quite common nowadays. We had more than 10,000 visitors in the first week. And these people spending 20, 30 minutes in the exhibition, learning about it, interacting with the art pieces. You can't do that with a conventional ad. And at these events, people take photos, KOLs come, they share on social media. And that is something we find has a much stronger impact. And that is something we do think will be continuing for next year, is to create that positive brand association, brand memory, and the fact that you can cascade your messages in a much more impactful manner.
Excellent. You seem to have been one of the first clients to take online to offline, and then now offline back to online.
Yes.
And taking your users through a very exciting journey. and so on and so forth. Talking about new experiments and new technology, I've also personally noticed that the bank has actually been, very forward thinking into new technologies. And obviously within this year, the world is talking about artificial intelligence. And not too long after that, I personally read about it, I noticed that you've launched an AI-powered campaign, and some functionalities within the mobile app, and so on and so forth. How do you balance, between experimenting with new technology and what you have on hand, or what in the business we call BAU, or business as usual?
Yeah, no, it's a great question, Kevin. And the way we see it is it's not contradictory. It's just about setting the priorities right. What we have is we always try to set aside some budgets or resources just for experimentation. And that experimentation, you don't always know what the outcome is. Sometimes experiments work, but sometimes experiments fail. And I think the importance that we have for the team is that it's okay to fail in some experiments. And you sort of take a risk approach to allocate a certain budget that we just tried new stuff with potential good payback. The campaign you mentioned, that had a good payback. It created a lot of optics, customers were excited. It sort of created the brand to be quite innovative and progressive, very catching on to the latest trend. But we do a lot of things you don't hear about that didn't work out.
Sure.
But that's okay. And it's okay not to be okay, right, on those aspects. And let the team be that entrepreneurial, because if they don't take the experiments, then you will never find the next thing for the bank.
It's great that you and the company or the bank has embraced this culture of, just learning, experimenting, and it's never always going to work out.
Yeah.
But I think the key is always going to be we're going to learn something from things that didn't work out.
Correct.
And I think that's a key dividend that we'll pay for future experiments that hopefully we'll learn. Cheuk, for marketers that are looking to emulate your success, what advice or what would be something that you would tell them?
Keep learning. I think we do attend a lot of conferences, sharing, just to get these perspectives from other marketers, publishers, industry players, agencies. So we read a lot. I think we encourage the team to read a lot. We join a lot of exchanges. I think in the past we haven't done it as much, but I think there's a culture of always seeking out what is out there and what's unknown. So keeping that open mind is quite key. Always learn. Always be hungry for knowledge. And I think that's the spirit that we have at the teams. We invite a lot of external speakers to our internal town halls, and that's always a great way to inspire the team. Take half day off the daily lives, the work routine, just to hear what's out there.
How would you sum up 2023 in one word?
Probably restorative. I think this year, is the first full year post-COVID. A lot of the city back to business, reopening up the borders, just getting the team and the business and the campaigns up to speed. So this year, a lot of the focus, I think, is on restoring back to vitality of Hong Kong.
And in also one word, how would you forecast or predict 2024?
I think next year, probably not a very creative word, but change, I think, would be key. Next year, the biggest election in history, right? So half the world's population would go through some change of the government. And with that, there will be, I imagine, a lot of changing dynamics, geopolitical dynamics. And I think AI we spoke about, I think that will also be a continued influence on the way that we do marketing. And that will be an exciting and positive change outlook for us.
Great, excellent. And there we have Cheuk Shum. But before I let you go, can I ask you to please turn your chair around the other way? There's something I want to tell our audience. If you look at Cheuk's haircut, it is the HSBC Pay Me, Pay Meow. So again, my advice would also be to emulate Cheuk's success. Be the walking billboard.
Thank you, Kevin.
Cheuk.
Thank you.
Appreciate having you.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you so much.